pipeline. Joseph Elliott Cruz.
Hey, yo.
Yes, it's the Antman and Loganator on Ringside Rumble Radio.
All right, Anthony Rivera and Keith Logan here for Ringside Rumble Radio, and we mentioned we'd be going down to Atlantic City for Boardwalk Beatdown presented by Standalone Wrestling. Sting's going to be there, Goldberg, Bullet Club, but one person that I really want to talk to and meet is the man who beat AJ Styles 3 times.
Not once, not twice, but 3.
3 times, and that is WWE's own James Ellsworth. James, how you doing, man?
What up, dudes? How's everybody today?
We're going good, man. It's great to have you on and great to talk with you. We know you're heading down to Boardwalk Beatdown this weekend in Atlantic City. We want to get your thoughts on, I guess traveling around and doing these kind of conventions and meeting with the fans. What are your thoughts on that?
I love it, man. I love talking to the fans, interacting with the fans, and just having a good time. Because if it wasn't for the fans, I would have never made it to WWE. They really went to bat for me after the Strowman match and put my face all over the internet and made sure WWE brought me back. And so I love meeting them and thanking them.
And that's a big thing that you mentioned, the Braun Strowman. Did you ever think from the moment you stepped into the ring with him that things would take off the way they did with the WWE?
Oh, of course not. Like, you're going there, you're thinking this is a one-night thing. I get to wrestle in Raw, get beat up by the biggest guy in the company. It was pretty cool. But no, I didn't think it would turn into anything.
I got to say, man, so far for you, I mean, you got to be in the ring with Strowman, AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, and that's pretty good for only being in WWE for a short amount of time.
Yeah, if you count the Strowman match until this past few weeks, I was at WWE more often than not on television for the last 2 years. And I did a lot of cool things. Got to do a mixed tag match with John Cena. Got to be on WrestleMania. Got to wrestle in Madison Square Garden on a live event. Got to be in the Royal Rumble. I did a lot of cool things. Had a lot of good memories for everyone. And we're not done yet. I'm pretty sure sooner than later I'll show back up on WWE television.
You mentioned working a lot, but one thing that stands out to me is working with Carmella most of last year. Seeing her grow into her character along with the rest of the women. What are your thoughts on the evolution of the women's division and their upcoming pay-per-view match?
Man, I hope the pay-per-view goes well. I know they have 50-some girls on there, so I think it's going to be great. Alexa Bliss versus Trish Stratus is one of those fantasy warfare matches that we're going to get to see now. Ronda Rousey, I'm sure, will be headlining the pay-per-view, as she should. She's the biggest women's star WWE has.
Yeah.
So that's good that they got her, and that's a good relationship with WWE and Ronda Rousey. That's a lot of exposure they didn't have before with the women that now they have. And Nikki Bella and the Bella Twins, they're big stars outside of WWE now as well. So, and like, you got all those girls working real hard in the ring, like Sasha Banks, Bayley, Charlotte, Becky, Carmella. Like, there's a lot of girls that are really working hard, and they deserve to have the pay-per-view. So I'm happy for them.
And it's a lot different than it was back in the day with how there was the divas, and now with the women, it seems like, well, obviously with the whole evolution, they're giving them their time, but it kind of changed over a bit. For a while, we were seeing maybe like 2 to 3 minute matches, and now it's refreshing that they have their own pay-per-view as well as seeing them sometimes on Raw for a main event or on a SmackDown episode as well.
Absolutely. Like that match that Sasha Banks and Bayley had at NXT Brooklyn, the first one, I think that was like 3 years ago now. It was such an awesome match, man. Anybody who hasn't seen it, go check that out. And I think that really started where people were like, wow, these girls can have good matches. And now, yeah, they get a lot of time, especially at pay-per-view. I thought the triple threat match with Carmella, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte from SummerSlam was very good. So, yeah, man, it's going to be one of those things. The girls, first time ever in WWE, that they get their own pay-per-view, and I'm anxious to see how it goes.
But I want to get back to you a bit. On your Instagram a while back, you brought up in the Indies the World Intergender Championship. How did that come to be, and how did that brew in your head, and how did you bring that up?
Well, when I when I left WWE the first time, I was like, man, I got to do something fun when I go out on the independents. I just don't want to, live off of my WWE run. I'm going to do something different and do something, that's going to be fun for everyone. And having the intergender title, I was like, well, I just started working with the girls on TV, especially after Money in the Bank when I took the briefcase and made everybody mad. I was like, I really should wrestle girls on the indies and take this title. And it's been great, man. I've wrestled a lot of good, talented girls on the indies, and I've probably wrestled in 2018 probably about 30 to 40 girls. It's been great.
Wow.
You're listening to Ringside Rumble Radio here, and we're with James Ellsworth. And James, I got to ask you, being a part of the indies for so long, what are your thoughts on the new pay-per-view that's coming out, All In, and I guess the mainstream rise of indie stars, not just in like Ring of Honor and like a couple of people from New Japan, but the WWE has been really, I guess, cultivating a lot of these indie stars and bringing them in. What's your thought on that?
Oh, it's great, man. It's like the indies, there's people that are making a living outside of WWE now. And guys that like the Young Bucks and like Joey Ryan that have never been in WWE, they're making a living just doing indies. And Matt Riddle did it, and he just got signed. It's awesome to see. I'm having a lot of fun on the independents, and I'm glad it grew into what it is today. I've been wrestling 16 years, and I've spent 14 out of the 16 on the indies. And when I first started wrestling, the independents were never like this. It's awesome to see. I'm having fun being a part of it. I'm very lucky and fortunate where I get to go back and forth from WWE and independents, so I get to dip into both, and I'm having a great time, man. I'm happy to see the independents doing as well as they are.
And you said that you been wrestling for a while now, but who inspired you to become a professional wrestler, and when did it kind of like the light bulb go off and say like, hey, you know what, I want to do wrestling, I want to make this my full-time career? I
don't remember not wanting to be a wrestler. I've wanted to be a wrestler my whole life. Like, it just always was in my head, and from a very young age. And I'm just one of those stories, man, where it captivated my head right away as soon as I saw it, and that's all I've ever wanted to do.
Was there anybody who inspired you? Like, usually people say, well, Hulk Hogan really inspired me, Stone Cold. Was there anybody out of the box?
When I was a kid, Shawn Michaels was my favorite, and he still is to this day. Just how entertaining and just oozing charisma and all that. And, he was my number one guy.
I'm glad you brought up Shawn Michaels. Everyone knows he's Mr. WrestleMania. So I got to ask you, you get to main event WrestleMania, or you get that one big, main event at WrestleMania. Who are you wanting to go up against?
Oh, it would have to be AJ Styles, right? My biggest rivalry in WWE.
Hey, you got 3 wins against him already, so why not make it 4?
Why not?
That's right.
Any favorite wrestling moments you have as a wrestling fan? I know you said you grew up watching it continuously. Any storylines or any matches that cultivated you and you really enjoyed growing up as a fan?
Oh, well, the Iron Man match between Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, WrestleMania 12. I was 11 going on 12 when that happened. And that's the match that always sticks out of my head. They had a great story going into it. That's one of the rare babyface versus babyface WrestleManias. I liked both guys, but Shawn, again, was my favorite. So I remember seeing that, being very excited for that match, and I enjoyed it, and I still enjoy it to this day. I watch it at least once a year. I would go back and just watch it. I make a point to do it at least once a year. It's my favorite match ever.
We're here with James Ellsworth, who is going to be at Boardwalk Beatdown this weekend in Atlantic City. James, tell us a little bit about your podcast, the Duhcast.
Oh, yeah, the Duhcast. We just had Chris Jericho on our show. You can go check that out. That just aired today. Just hit airways today. WrestlingPerspectivePodcast.com, iTunes, iCloud, all that cool stuff. Look for the Duhcast. Man, I just started that about 3 months ago, and nice. Jericho's been our biggest guest. Just had him yesterday. He's a buddy of mine. I was very happy that he, said yes to doing it. We talked for about 45 minutes, and dude, it's the Duhcast. Everybody check it out. Like I said, I just named where you could find it, but you can look at my Twitter at Real Ellsworth, or my Instagram, James Ellsworth Wrestling, and find it on there as well.
All right, so before we let you go, what do you have coming up in any indie matches? What does your schedule look like right now?
Oh, it's crazy this week, man. I wrestle literally 3 or 4 days a week. I'm very much still on a WWE schedule, it feels like. Like tomorrow, I'm going to bar wrestling out there in Burbank, California, LA area with, Joey Ryan's organization. It's a very, very fun atmosphere. Joey Ryan and I are going to team up for the first time. We're going to be called Intergeneration X.
Oh, wow.
I like it.
Oh, man, I think people are going to love it. We're going to test the waters tomorrow, doing it for the first time. We're going to cut some promos together to put out on the internet. And I told him, I said maybe a T-shirt.
That's what I was going to say. There needs to be merch.
Yeah, I think we're on to something. I wrestled him. It was me and 2 girls against him and 2 girls last week. I was in California. And I said, man, when we team next week, well, I think we should be called Intergeneration X. And he just started laughing his ass off. I said, awesome. See that reaction? What you're doing right now is what everyone's going to do. And then he called me yesterday. He's like, man, I've been thinking about this thing you were talking about, this Intergeneration X. He said, I think it's amazing. I was like, yeah, dude, I think a lot of people will have fun with it. So I can't wait to do that tomorrow and see what happens. But as soon as I do that show tomorrow, I'm getting on a red eye right after the show, going to New Jersey for standalone wrestling, doing the Dinner with the Stars on Friday, to give convention in Atlantic City there at 9 a.m. on Saturday, then the show Saturday night.
Are you actually going to be on the show that Saturday night? Are you going to be wrestling then, or are you just kind of hanging out?
It feels so empty without me, wouldn't it?
I would agree to that.
And now hearing about this Intergeneration X, I think you might have to bring that along to AC with you.
Yeah, we want to see T-shirts. I know it's a little soon for that.
Well, Joey's picking me up from the airport tomorrow, and we're going to have a nice discussion about it. I really think him and I as a team just doing that stuff. We're the number 1 and number 2, like, intergender guys in the business. We've both helped make it popular again. Like, luckily, I was very fortunate that I got to do intergender matches on WWE, 2 with Asuka, 1 with Becky Lynch. Uh-huh. And he's been doing it all over the independents for the last couple of years, and he's doing it at a very high level in the independents. He's very popular, does very well. So I think this is just like a side project we could do together just to get people talking, and just like everybody I've told about it has reacted to it, just like you guys have. Like, we're very interested in it. Joey Ryan and I against 2 girls in a tag match anywhere in the world, I think will draw attention and get people entertained.
Yeah, I agree. I have one last question for you. I don't know if you can really answer or not, but have we seen the last of James Ellsworth in the WWE?
I keep telling people, man, I'm like Jason from Friday the 13th. You can only kill me off so long before I come back, so just leave it at that.
So have like a James Ellsworth X or in space or something like that?
No, that was the worst one.
You can't bring that one up.
I can't even get through. I try to laugh through the whole thing and try to watch. I can't get through a whole thing. I can watch Jason 1 through 9, and then as soon as I get to that one, I'm just like, no.
I got to tell you this, James. Watching you come back with the Asuka mask on, hearing that pop, I don't think I've heard a pop that loud. I can't remember when I've heard a pop just that loud when you returned when Carmella took on Asuka. That was a outstanding moment.
Yeah, because I remember hearing on the internet as well, people were saying, oh no, he has all these tour dates, he's not coming back with WWE, and then all of a sudden the fake Asuka comes, and lo and behold, it's James Ellsworth underneath the mask. It was pure genius, my friend.
Yeah, I tried to kill the rumors on Twitter. I was like, man, I'm in China that day, which I was supposed to be, but I had to cancel them, and then they got mad at me because I wouldn't tell them why, and then like the rumors were out there already that they were very unprofessional in how they handled it. I mean, I sent them their deposit back. I was very professional. Those guys, like, emergency came up, I can't take it. They're like, well, just say you're going in the Money in the Bank. I was like, emergency came. Like, I wouldn't tell them. I think that's what they were mad about. Like, but they were like, it sucks, man. I hate when people are unprofessional like that. They had, like, anybody in the world would have understood what, why I had to, like, I don't like canceling on anybody.
Of course.
But it's WWE, and that's my home. Even when I'm not there, I'm there in everybody's hearts. Like, I feel like I'm a character that's always going to be welcome there and always going to come back and not just do one-offs, but do storylines like we just saw with Asuka, where I was there for 6 weeks. And, like, I foresee that's my future there as of now. Like, I feel like they're going to do that. Bring me back every now and then. And the character is a fun character for everybody to either love or hate. It does get reactions like you guys were talking about. Like, that reaction in Chicago there at Money in the Bank, like, I felt that. And, like, like it was all a blur after that. Like when I got backstage, everybody's hugging me. I got a lot of friends there, and I'm very, very friendly with everyone there. And it was just all a blur. Like that meant a lot to me. Those people in Chicago welcoming me back like that.
Did they keep you hidden when you came back? Did anybody know, or was it kind of like hush hush like they do some of the storylines?
Oh, it was hush hush. Yeah, I was kept on the bus there all day, and then they, stuck me in the arena when it was time to do the spot. So it was very hush hush, and it was just such a cool moment, and something I'll never forget.
Mm-hmm.
Well, James, I can't thank you enough for coming on with us. I gotta say, you have to be one of the most hardest working people in the business. The way you came into the WWE, the fan base that you have going on right now. Congratulations on everything, your career, how everything is going, and we look forward to seeing you down there in Atlantic City, and you can follow James Ellsworth at Real Ellsworth on Twitter. James, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Last thing I'm going to say, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Ellsworth and get your Rehire Ellsworth t-shirt and tag it to Paige and let her know she should rehire me on SmackDown Live.
We got it, man. We're definitely hashtagging that. All right, man. Thanks.